morning, everybody, and welcome to your daily dose of news. Hi, my name is Genta, IRL Genta. It's a new thing. Not permanent, but it's a thing. And welcome to the newscast. I haven't done one of these since, that first live stream way back in Reality Genta days. Oh, boy. So, I got some fun things I want to go over from my last video, things that have happened, things that I'm doing, etc., etc. Same old shit, different plot. Anyways, so I told a little bit about, my whole first part of the video was talking about, man, these hands don't want to function today. Should I be further away? Is that what you're telling me? E.T. So in the video I was talking about, last one was about a manga I was reading. I finished it. It's finished. The anime has only one season. I have not watched the anime. Frankly, read the manga. I did complain that the manga went kind of in a dip. I will say they recovered quite smoothly, and I really liked the direction it went, and I liked how it recovered, and then I liked the ending of it. It felt very fast, but it worked. It worked. There was just a small blip, and I'm like, is this going to be a thing? This feels way too different. I don't know how I feel about it. It worked out in the end. So the manga I'm talking about is called School Live! ! The Japanese of it is called Gakkou Gurashii. I just butchered that. I tried to say it. I basically am going to type it in the description and pinned comment, so if you want to just copy paste that son of a bitch and put it in a search engine, you can do that. I wanted to give a summary, a better one, of the characters, the plot, and a little bit of spoilers about the whole thing in case you don't want to read the roughly 150 chapters. Yeah, a little bit over 150 chapters, plus the spin-off, which, oh my goodness, I love it. I read the ending first somehow. I glitched and read the ending first. So I'm like, well, no wonder it didn't make sense. I skipped to the end. I read the last chapter. I don't know how that happened. So I'm waiting for my brain to reset from that internal shock and all right, I'm going to have to actually read the thing correctly. Why did it give me the last chapter first? How did I not notice? I don't know. It was like a summary. I was confused. Anyways, so I got the main characters down. I'm going to give a brief summary about what this manga is about and basically what happens. So kind of spoilers, kind of not spoilers. I'll tell you when it gets spoilers. So there are a main cast of 4 characters that stay through the whole series. They actually all manage, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but they all managed to survive, which one of the girls... Ooh, Kurumi was not doing good. Kurumi, or as I like to, I also gave nicknames, so if you ever just see their pictures, you can easily spot them out of the crowd. Kurumi is the shovel girl. She has a shovel. She's the shovel girl. The shovel gets changed. Here, I'm sick. You get to hold the shovel now, but she's the shovel girl. So that's Kurumi. Then we have Yuki, pink-haired girl with the cat hat. She has a cat hat that's actually a very symbolized meaning to it, because it's a weird Japanese thing where it's to put a cat on your head or to cover yourself with a cat head something. Bad translation, but it basically is to saying hiding your true self underneath this facade, this cat hat, which is oh my god, that I didn't even get that till the manga person put that in a translation edit and be here's what this means. I'm oh, okay. So yeah, that is Yuki, pink-haired girl, short pink-haired girl. There is one other pink-haired girl. That is the teacher, Megune or Megumi Sakura. That is the teacher. She's not much of a character. I would say she would technically be the unofficial 5th character. Spoiler alert. She is dead. It's pretty, episode 1 confirmed she is dead. It gets worse from there. I'm not gonna spoil, just let you know she's technically the main 5, but she's dead, so it don't really count. Complicated. Then we have Miki, the girl that got rescued from a mall and basically had given up and was like, you know what? She's the definition of the meme. This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. Well, everything is on fire around her. It's a nightmare. She gets rescued and becomes basically, I call her the reliable gray-haired girl because she's like the voice of reason, because the voice of reason, or the big sister of the group, which is Risa or Yuri. She doesn't get called by Yuri much, and it's a debate on how her name is spelled, whether it has two U's or a U with a weird woof over it, like just a little weird roof over it. Basically, she's the president of the School Life Club, which I failed to explain any of this. I just went over the characters. So this is an apocalypse manga, basically zombie apocalypse, but this does something unique. And I'm sorry, Hands, I do not like what you've been doing this entire time. You know what? It adds personality. I'm wearing a big sweater and it doesn't like that. I don't know, you guys tell me, do these like glitchy hands off-put you? What if I just leave them here? Booba. So dumb. Anyways, so this is apocalypse manga. It is a zombie apocalypse manga, but I really love the way they did it. Because we all know how most zombie apocalypse, they just get, it's like a disease or some magic crap or some like virus or something. And I will say, they do go the virus route, but it is so very human. None of this has like a big like hoopla, who knows, I don't know, you know, I don't know. Like this is painfully like real to this day. It is very, like, this was made in 2012, and then the anime came out 2019, and then COVID fucked up if they were going to do it to season 2. Basically, virus, and it is specifically, wrote it down, an infectious bacteria virus. It's not really a virus or a disease. It's like a bacteria that makes them, I don't know, they explained it better, but basically they actually bothered to like explain like what's the difference between an infection, a plague, a disease. They went through the whole like what's the difference basically, and it all was so like very real, not over the head at all like most like apocalypse mangas are. Like this is painfully like you could just call this the COVID virus. I'm not even joking. It's the same thing. It's so painfully real to this day. That's why it was so engaging. It's like this was made in 2012, but they hit home. They hit home way too hard. Yeah, it actually ends up having a cure, which is also kind of mundane, but realistic. Like how do you fix something that is like an infectious bacteria with like a probiotic of some kind? And that's basically what they did. Like, I don't know how to describe this manga to you other than it is a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece. The art is gorgeous. The character arcs are wonderful. The characters themselves are well paced. I did complain that when they got out of their school and headed to the university that they just suddenly had these bunch of characters. I'm gonna tell you right now, they all pretty much died. The bad ones died. They all deserved it. Some of them didn't. The one girl's pregnant. That didn't really go anywhere other than giving Risa, like, let me just say, Yuki stopped being the one with the trauma that made her kind of a nutcase, a very sad nutcase, but she doesn't even know it. And then it translated to she snapped out of it. Risa started having the psychosis dump and thought that a teddy bear was her sister. And the whole time, I loved reading the comments. The whole time, everybody's debating, is the sister real? It can't possibly be real. It's the teddy bear, isn't it? But we can't tell for sure. And then, yeah, it's the teddy bear. She leaves it with the pregnant lady. That's fun. But yeah, Painfully real. Even the infection, like most zombie apocalypse, they're like, oh, if you get bit, you're dead. And that's basically why I was screaming, because Kurumi got bit. And I'm like, she's fucking dead. And at this point, these characters are so real and not over-exemplified in any way that you just got really comfortable, and they're like, that's a real person. That is a real person. This is a very real scenario, even though, you know, Yuki's weird hysteria of her not really processing the current condition. Like, she's legit hallucinating. The school's still together. The class is still happening. Like, at every turn that most apocalypse mangas would have gone to, or animes, she would have been bit, attacked, or gotten people killed. And she amazingly was not a burden. At all. Like, what? She's not a burden. There's so many aspects. I want to do a deeper dive into, like, school life or live. I like to call it the school life club, because that's basically what you hear. I don't know where they got school live or live or whatever. It makes me think of school, like, idol school life. You know, it's not even close. This is a masterpiece. Highly recommend. It's a good 2-day binge, 2 to 3 day binge. You can find it on Manga Nato or any like free manga, like manga decks. Just type in the name and boof, there you go. You can watch the anime. I haven't seen the anime. Can't speak to how good it would be compared to the manga. Just read the manga. It held up. It held up, and I loved it. It was great. Everything was just painfully very real and not exaggerated hoopla. It was very beautiful. And I still have to finish the prologue. Is that what it's called? Sequel? Prologue? Prologue sequel. I don't know, but it's beautiful. Just highly recommend. Next on the list would be... Oh, okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a disclaimer. These two mangas that I'm going to be talking about, one is actually, what is it called? A webtoon? I think it's a webtoon. I think it's a webtoon. Normally I stay away from webtoons. The only webtoon I bothered to, like, finish and keep up with was Killing Stalking, and that's basically where the rest of these mangas go. They all have the air of pretty much mature. This is like 16 and up rating right here. So if sensitive subjects of like anything, just step out. Like, surprisingly, the apocalypse manga, any kid I feel like could have dealt with that. They did everything so beautifully. It wasn't childish. They just dealt with it very humanly, and I'm like, anybody can watch that, in my opinion. Even though it could probably get, like, scary and sad. Like, man, when you realized in the first chapter, too, Yuki was not presently in the school, it literally smacked you in the face, and you went, oh, this has been a long time since the manga's been able to do that to me. Give me that. And you just down the rabbit hole. Anyways, so these next two ones are kind of mature. They have the same word in the title. Suicide Girl and Suicide Boy. What are either of those two things? Suicide Boy, easier to just literally suicidal boy, and his, like, painfully shy attempts at just trying to end life. And then he makes friends, and then people around him pity him. And it's, like, painfully real that you know it's, like, a pity basis, but people are starting to get, like, an emotional attachment to each other, but still they have, like, this disdain or lack of understanding. It's, like, painfully real. I haven't completed it. I'm on chapter 24. I really like it. I'm probably going to finish reading it later the past 2 days. For Suicide Girl, completely different story. Oh my god. If this gets an anime, I'm fucking watching it, because this artist, what the, their art, their art style is so exaggerated and cartoon anime and just beautiful detail, beautiful depth. Like, you don't get this range of perspective and detail anymore. It's taxing and grueling, but they do it, and they kept doing it. It's still being updated almost every day. I don't know if there's more updates somewhere and I haven't seen them, but as of right now there is only 12.5 chapters out, and there's only 3 main characters, not counting the guy character, but basically magical girl anime where you're gonna look at the cover art and you'd be like, that is a Madoka Magica fucking bootleg character right there. No, this is very opposite of Madoka Magica, and I'm not talking Mahou Shoujo site style. Like, this is like so, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's good. It's like another one of these, like, it's a bit morbid, it's really kind of creepy at times, but so pretty. Like, they managed to do the doki doki kawaii and the, oh my god, what the fuck are we dealing with? Like, the existential, like, very creepy horror, but then maintaining the cute and then having it cut off from each other. It works. It works. I don't know. Just look at the art, and if the art is like, whoa, that's different, look at some of the pages, read some of it. It is pretty, like, some people will say it might be tasteless at first because it's like, really? We're just jumping into it. I don't know. I think I like controversial mangas. It doesn't feel controversial to me. It just feels real. Because shit like this happens. Basically starts with this, like, bubbly girl joins, like, a group suicide, and everybody else is, like, actually fucking, like, oh, you can tell they don't want to be here, and they want to die, and it's very spiteful, and she's the only one like, hi, I'm so happy to be here, oh my god, I'm so ready for this, I've been waiting for this my entire life, blah, 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 blah. She has just all sunshine and rainbows, and you're like, what the fuck? Does she not understand what she's doing? That's the whole thing, like, the first few chapters, like, does she not know what she's doing? And it follows through, and you're like, okay, is this going to be, like, a paranormal? Like, she's going to go over the other side, and then it's going to be an adventure? Nope. Magical girl anime thing. Nobody dies. They get cleansed, and apparently they have these things called phobias, so I guess it's very reminiscent of Madoka Magica in a way. It's like everybody compares everything to Madoka Magica, especially when the main protagonist ends up having pink hair of any kind. They think, oh, that's a Madoka Magica ripoff. No. It's very no. But yeah, basically these magical girls, there's only 3. The one I'm talking about is called Kirari. She's just all over the place. She's bright, she's bubbly, but then she gets real, and then she's, like, completely devoted to, like, I no longer want to die, I want to help people, because the way they explained it, it kind of doesn't work after the other 2 girls get explained, or at least the last one, but we're, like, midway through her chapter. It's still getting updated, so the longer this this manga goes, the better I'll have an understanding of the characters. So then we meet Manten? That is such a weird name. I've never seen that before. They're all girls, by the way. She is the golden maiden, the idol butterfly, and she's like all this bright and stuff and happy. Basically, it feels like me being a VTuber, and then when you meet me in real life, and it's just, like, dead. I'm like, okay, whoa. We were just ripping off the Band-Aid there, like, damn. And then you learn about her character, and it's just, like, it is over the top, it is dramatic, but it stays very real in the core mechanics of everything, and that's really important. I love that. And then we just got introduced to Akane, which I call her Nurse Ada Ada. That poor child. I don't even know where to begin with that child. She is a yandere that has a lot of trauma. Oh, I forgot to mention, all of them turn into magical girls because so fucking bad. Okay, imagine instead of a soul gem, they had the method of which people commit suicide to be their trigger to transform. It sounds so fucking tasteless, but that's what it is. Literally, Kirari is a noose. And that noose can become drained of its ability and become, like, bloodied and unable to work, so she can't transform. But she still somehow just power throughs it, and everybody's like, oh, the Messiah. I don't know how to describe this one. It's only not even 13 chapters in. Give it a look-see. It is good. Monten, the idle butterfly girl, hers is self-harm, cutting transformation. Very reminiscent of Mahou Shoujo Sight. But this is way more graphic, I would say. And then Akane is overdosing of pills. That's why she's a nurse. Nurse, medicine, pills. And yeah, that's all we know so far. I'm hella invested. It's worth a look-see if that seems like it's up your alley. It is one of those things where it's like, if you ain't in the headspace and that's a fragile topic, it ain't gonna be your cup of tea. It might even offend you. Go men. I like that dose of daily horror and real with a mix of like anime and manga. It's a good manga. I'm reading it. I check it every now and then to see if there's an update, and it is worth it every time. The art, mwah. The characters, mwah. The fucked up nature of it, 9 out of 10, I would say. 9 out of 10. Not perfect. There's some parts, but like overall it's so like eye candy appealing. That's all I have for manga right now. Now, moving on from manga. I spent way too much time talking about manga. Oh my god. Let me take a sippy sip. I'm having a problem with swallowing. I have to be careful or I'm going to choke and drown myself. You do not want to get water in your lungs. That's called aspirating. It's bad. A tiny bit of water in your lungs can be lethal if it's enough that it means something and you need to get that suction out. So just saying, be careful. Don't breathe your water. Do not rush your drinking of the water. All right. Moving on. So I have been playing Pokemon constantly, like I mentioned in the past videos, where I've basically been treating it like Animal Crossing and just checking in every day for the berries. Instead of working on Diamond and Pearl, I hunted around the house thinking I lost the cartridge for my Sword and Shield. I think I have Shield? I have Shield, the dog one with the big mane. That's Shield, right? Yeah, I went back to that because I really, really, really wanted to do the Masuda method, which is very hard to do. Because, note to people who were telling me shit about, like, why are you trying to do shiny hunting and you don't even have a shiny charm? Well, I'm doing the Masuda method, and I looked up the rates, and it's only like 150 difference if you have a shiny charm versus not having a shiny charm. If you're doing the Masuda method, which means you have to have a foreign Pokemon with another foreign Pokemon. They can't be from the two same countries. So if you have like a Japanese Ditto and everything else is from your world, perfect. You got perfect breeding capability. Not every Pokemon can be bred with eggs, but it works most of the time, and I'm all for that. So I'm working on trying to get Drifloon? The first evolution? Is it Drifloon? Drifblimp is the second one. I chose that Pokemon specifically because I know I had it on hand in my game, and I put it in the daycare just to make sure that, sometimes evolutions like fucking Munchlax. I don't know why they're like, nope, you just have a Snorlax. I'm like, but this is supposed to be Munchlax. Nope, you have a Snorlax. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's just a game exception, but that was, I tried to get a Munchlax once and it didn't work out somehow. Anyway, so I picked that one because I went and looked at all the 3D models, because the problem is I just watched a streamer where they got like a shiny Piplup in the beginning of the first game and they didn't even know what shinies were. They had no idea how much of an RNG thing that was. Like, they started the game, got a shiny Piplup, didn't even know. So I wanted to make sure that the Pokemon I'm breeding, the shiny texture would be very noticeable. Like, as I'm playing this, I'm listening and watching other videos. Like, Five Nights at Freddy's just came out with the new whatever. I already binge watched that. I couldn't wait for all of Markiplier. PewDiePie just started. I tried watching MatPat, and then I just spoiled the end because I couldn't wait. It's good. It would scare me. It would annoy me. Too many glitches. 10 out of 10. Oh, that would be so good. It would be so good to just wander that place around in a VR setting. I heard it's like 80 gigabytes, not megabytes. That doesn't seem right. I don't understand. Anyways, they got some work to do. But yeah, I wanted to pick a Pokemon who had a shiny texture that was going to be noticeable, and Drifloop literally turns piss colored. She they turn piss from purple. No, they purple to piss. So purple to yellow. It looks piss colored. And I'm like, I'll be able to know if my fucking purple balloon turns piss, because I'm going to be able to notice that. So I'm already starting that. I do want to stream that because, well, it's a long, drawn-out, boring thing, and that way I can talk and do it at the same time and, like, just have a good talksy-doozy, like, it feels like I'm doing something, and then when it does happen, ooh, reaction, go to bed, right? It's going to be a pain in the butt, but it's the kind of stuff I like. It'll be a good starting point to get back to streaming. I just really wish I could have done that with Diamond and Pearl. They don't have the global trades open. Yes, they do have it for that small, stupid room, but I want the GTS, the Global Trade Station. They still haven't implemented it. I'm hoping they're going to drop that for Christmas, or at least the end of the year, because I really want to do the Masuda method, but I need foreign Pokemon. And I know there's some of you out there that would willingly donate a Pokemon or know how to emulate a foreign Pokemon and just straight up send me a shiny. You know who you are. I appreciate you, but I want to work for it. Ditto, got it. I got many of them, so baseline, got it. Oh, I should get a Japanese Ditto. Oh, that would make things so much easier. I'm an idiot. Ah, okay, I totally forgot getting a foreign Ditto is important. Anybody have a foreign Ditto? I'll trade you my Ditto for your Ditto if it's a foreign Ditto. Ah! Can you breed a Ditto with a Ditto? I hope so. Probably not. The thing is agendered as hell. Anyways, that's my Pokemon update. I want to do the Masuda method for the game I'm actually working for. Bruh! I've killed every legendary and I haven't captured any of them outside of Dialga. It seems like an oversight. But now that I know the shiny charm really doesn't matter if you're going to do the Masuda method. It really does fucking matter if you don't have the Masuda method. So I'm screwed on that. I would have to individually, like, find somebody and trade the Ditto. I can't just do it on the Global Trade Center because it doesn't exist yet. Anyways, moving on. I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, this is the last little bit of news. I just found this out not even like an hour ago, an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. I don't know if you guys know anything about something called HazbinHotel or Hell of a Boss or Vizipop. Love their work. Been following them since all these franchises even existed in her anime animated studios started getting the works done. We're waiting for the end of the season for Hell of a Boss, and it's been wonderful. It's been beautiful, and we already have season 2. I'm so grateful now that hindsight is like so 2020 because of what's happening with HazbinHotel, which was the first thing that they're like, all right, we're gonna make this a franchise, and then it's like, well, I also have this other thing, and somebody picked up, I think it's A24 Studios. They're pretty renowned for they make good things and they can make bad things. So we're gonna get into that. HazbinHotel, I had not an idea. I don't follow social media. I literally had a panic attack 3 times today, finding out and going on Twitter for unrelated things, and then finding out about the HazbinHotel situation, which the HazbinHotel situation is this. They built their pilot on so much success of the VAs, and they also did that with Hell of a Boss. They only changed 2 or 3 voices in Hell of a Boss. I think it was just Millie and then Stolas. And people were like, oh, this is horrible, this is never going to be, I can't accept it. And it actually really worked out in the end, and we all love the characters as they are. It worked. The problem with HazbinHotel is their pilot has sat on the shelf and has been loved and adorned with so much care that the VAs, not having certain VAs anymore, like, they're just, I thought drama happened and they didn't want to be a part of the project anymore. Some are speculating that might be the case and they're just not allowed to say that vocally. But for the most part, it seems like it was Vizzy's, she's the one that makes all of this and gets the hearsay, decided not to continue having them as the cast of the characters, and here are the characters that are no longer going to have the same VAs as the pilot or any music video they've been in, official ones like Addicted. So the main one that made my heart sink, Angel Dust, the VA, I think his name is Michael, something with an M, will not be returning. And I for sure thought, oh, this is a drama thing, isn't it? No, all of these seem to have the same response of, it was Vizzy's decision. And at first, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to feel about that. Now, I'm remembering what Hell of a Boss brought, which was small changes, big outcome. It's worth a chance. I love Angel Dust's VA. Everybody does. But we have to remember, pilots change. Voice actors change with pilots. It's just unfortunate we've invested so much love and care into something we knew wasn't going to be permanent. We just hoped it was not going to change too much. That's not the case. So Angel Dust, Nifty. Nifty was a small character but had such a very charming voice. I feel like anybody could easily fill a similar role or voice of Nifty. Not to speak bad of the voice actor, it's just hers is a less unique voice, so I can see like that can have different, like with Millie became more like country in Hell of a Boss when they were more cutesy like Nifty. 2 VAs changed that were for purely singing reasons. Alistair's singing voice and then Charlie's singing voice VAs were not brought back on. Tom Trench, which small character, okay, it was pretty unique. I'm not going to cry over that character, even though they're a great voice actor. And then there's one other one I couldn't remember, and I just went, I guess they're not important, or I would have wrote them down. The main one that hurt me in the gut was Angel Dust. And I would like, as somebody who just processed this, I have BPD. I'm attached to things so unhealthily that it tears me up inside. You have no idea the real terror and pain change actually affects me. And I calmed myself down pretty well with the example of Hell of a Boss. We didn't have two of the VAs, and some things have been tweaked here and there. This is a lot more major, and it's been a more loved and longer wait than... Because, like, Hell of a Boss, nobody expected that. Vizzy hinted that is like, oh, well, we have this sub thing that I can do on my free time and not be, you know, hounded by a production company that I'm partnering with, and due to disclosure agreements, can't talk about it, can't do anything with it. You know, it becomes a business property now instead of like, I can kind of free range this turkey. Which has probably been the saving grace, that Vizzy can still have creative freedom on such a big scale project and not have a studio or a company kind of, you know, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it could ever revert back to just her ownership of the thing. It's practically a done deal. A24, I think they're called. They own a chunk of it, so it's like a divorce. If you try to get out of the, like, a marriage of like, hey, let's work together, assets are going to get split, or things are just not going to be ever let go truly, and then, you know, it crashes and burns from there. So this will be a strongly learned lesson for Vizzy, whether she should trust producers and companies, because I think she did well with Hell of a Boss, but like a bitch load of people also contributed. I don't know how they got the funding for that. Honestly, I don't. And for it to be a free-range turkey as it was, I don't remember if they ever had a Patreon for Hell of a Boss. I think they might have for HazbinHotel. No, they just had a bunch of merchandise that always sold out. But yeah, that's just remember, you can get more emotionally attached to a character the longer you have exposure to that character. We haven't had any new content outside of a music video that originally... I listened to it because I knew the music producer from My Little Pony stuff. They did My Little Pony stuff and were known for that. And just suddenly it dropped that they did an Angel Dust, and oh, that's who it was. Also, Cherry Bomb's voice actor will not be rejoining. I'm less sad about that, but, you know, Angel Dust and Cherry Bomb kind of like friends, so it's kind of like, oh. If they replaced any more VAs, I would be worried. I would be really, really worried, but I would still probably fall in love with them. I probably would. Because HazbinHotel has been such an investment emotionally. The fan art, the fan comics, the fan dubs, just all the fan works, animations, animatics. People have poured so much love and care into this that you don't need to hear them speak. We're always going to have our own headcanon. And we fall in love with them and their character, not just their voice. Their voice does help, because it's like we have like a canon reference, but that was a pilot. Pilots are not always going to be 100%. Great example. Can you imagine Shrek without Shrek being Shrek? Did you know Shrek wasn't supposed to be Shrek? Just think about that. The most iconic green thing known to man was not supposed to be the voice of the green thing. And that's because the guy died. Wow. Wow. I think he's also the voice of Cat in the Hat. The fucking... Oh my god, that movie's cursed. Anyways, just HazbinHotel, everything is changing VA-wise. I'm going to just say right now, if every VA changes from the ground up, I will still embrace it. I will mourn the first few episodes, but then I'll fall in love with it all over again, because this is a whole series ahead of us, and we've been begging and pleading and waiting for it. And the characters themselves did not change. Maybe some of the backstories might change a little bit, tweaks here and there, but the main core mechanics of the entirety is still in circle. It's just the voices right now that are kind of falling apart. But I'm willing I'm willing to see past that and say, cheers. Merry Christmas, everyone. You worked so fucking hard. Changes suck. Nobody likes changes. Unless you like changes, bless you. You're having a great time this year. Holy shit. But outside of that, that's all I have. This is a long video. I don't know if it's any good, but I tried. This was a gentle news about manga, Pokemon, and HazbinHotel. I have no further updates, and we're gonna go deliver some hand-painted rocks to some people we still care for, but they are kind of crazy. I'll get back to that another time, but anyways, Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a good New Year and a holiday, and I'll either be seeing ya or I won't. We'll see. I'm crazy. Let's go. Bye-bye, boys. Bye-bye, girls. Did I talk about Five Nights at Freddy's? I was talking about Driftbloom. I'm like, who did I say was a they? And I couldn't remember. This gender panic. Alright, I'm out. Where's the button? Was I not recording? Was I not recording? Oh, you better. Thank God.